Independent Scentsy Superstar Director, and tonight we're going to be discussing all about parties and everything you need to know about having a successful party. So let's get started. First, I want to discuss the launch party. Depending on when you enrolled in Scentsy, you may or may not have a launch party, and it's completely optional. However, it's a great way to get started with your business. Basically, a launch party is where you're going to invite all of your friends and your family to your home, and you're going to introduce them to both Scentsy and the fact that you are now selling Scentsy. It's a great opportunity for you to be able to put all of the orders in and you be the host, so you will get all of the host rewards. So all of the free and half-price Scentsy you can start accumulating to either build inventory, to give them as gifts, or you can resell the product as people call and ask you if you happen to have any product on hand. So it's an excellent way to really kick off your business. And the reason it's important is because you're going to get your very first sales at your launch party. And these are your friends and your family, so they want to be supportive of you. So it's a very safe environment for you to do your very first party. Naturally, because again, these are your friends and family and people that care about you and want to see you be successful, this is where you're going to get your very first bookings. So you're going to want to have your planning calendar handy, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, and you're going to want to secure your home and your basket parties, as many as you can here, because that's going to help perpetuate your business. Your launch party is also going to help you to qualify for both the Shooting Star Enhancement Kit and the Sensational Start Kit. Or Sensational Start Levels. The Shooting Star Enhancement Kit and Sensational Start Levels are clearly explained and defined in your new consultant guidebook that came in your kit, or it can be located under the Resources tab and then under New Consultant Information. So be sure that you take a look at those things immediately so that you can get started on earning both of those. I can tell you for certain that statistically, consultants who both get off to a great start, who earn the Shooting Star Kit and achieve levels 1, 2, or 3 have a much greater long-term success with Scentsy. So the sooner you can get going, the quicker your business is going to continue to grow. You want to invite everyone you know to your launch party. You know, definitely realize these are people, again, that you have already existing relationships with. So they want to be helpful, they want to be supportive, and encourage them to bring friends. Over-invite. These can be friends, family, coworkers, neighbors, people you went to church with, maybe the kids on the Little League baseball team's moms. Make sure you have additional invitations that you just keep with you. So if you're going to the hairdresser or to your dentist office, you can hand out these invitations. You want to be certain, and if you haven't done this already, that again in your new consultant guidebook, there's your top 100 list. Make sure and fill out the 100 people that you know on the form. And get this done because you're going to utilize this throughout your Scentsy business. And definitely invite them to your launch party. You want to advertise your party on both Facebook, email, MySpace, any and all social media aspects. I highly recommend that you mail out as many invitations as you have complete addresses for, but reminders are great via text and Facebook and email. And you can set up evites and events through that as well. You can set up an online party through your workstation. This is very simple, and this will allow your friends and family members that can't attend to go ahead and come as well, or go ahead and shop for your Scentsy, and so you can earn additional host rewards, as well as friends and family members that don't live locally. This way, they'll have an opportunity to go online to purchase products, and it still helps you get started. To set up your online party, you would go to your workstation, then to the Order tab, then to the Scentsy Order, and then you would hit Home or Basket Party, whichever you happen to be doing for your launch party. More than likely, it's going to be a home party environment. You would complete the information, fill in the blanks, as if you were the host. So a lot of times you could put like Susan's launch party, or you could put your full name, Tracy DeMario's party. That way, when your friends and family go to the Buy tab, they can click on that and you will get credit. There's great training and information available on the Training Center. So again, if you haven't already, make sure you log into your workstation, access the Training Center, and watch the new consultant trainings. There you will also find videos on how to have a launch party and a home and basket party. So I highly encourage you to spend time there. A few more things. If you happen to be new to the area, you pick up and you move across town, or maybe you pick up and you move across the country, you can always relaunch your business. So don't forget, just because you've been in Cincy for 2 years, you've now got new friends, a new realtor, a new dentist, maybe new people at school that you've met through your children. You can always relaunch your business. And you can do multiple launch parties. Sometimes people like to do a launch party for their work friends. Then they have one at home. Or maybe they set up an open house after hours at their place of employment. So when people get off, they can come and shop at that point. You can do as many as you would like to do, especially if you've got different crowds of people. If you happen to be visiting your friends or family during the holidays, do another launch party. Let them know, hey, I'm going to be bringing all my Cincy stuff. Let's set up a time when the friends and families from the neighborhood can come around, or some of your old friends or your distant relatives that maybe you don't see on a regular basis. Not only is it going to help you with your business, but it really is fun, and it's a great way just to have great conversation. Also, if you do a second distance party, it's a great way to get your basket parties and recruiting opportunities out there as well. So keep that in mind. And any trips that you might take, even if it's a local trip and you have mileage expenses or any expenses at all, as long as you have discussed Cincy and participated in Cincy business, you can write off a lot of those expenses. At your launch party, the main thing, as we like to call it, is KISS. Keep it sensationally simple. You definitely want it to be simple. Keep your display simple, your presentation simple, and your food simple. People have came because they care about you and they want to help you get started. So focus on just getting through it and having fun. That is the number one thing. Have fun and keep it simple. Don't overdo it. You don't have to have 50,000 different types of foods and beverages. Just keep it easy enough to where people can have a good time, they can enjoy the fellowship, and relax. Here you're going to find a copy of some scent samples that someone made. They've actually used 2 different scents. They have a scent in the center, and then they've used another one on the outside. These look really nice, and these are great little gifts that you can give away as your guests arrive. You can use these as thank you gifts for everyone who came, or they can be something you could do for little door prizes if you wanted to play some games, or maybe give everybody who brought a guest, or whatever you might want to do with them. But it's a very inexpensive way just to do something nice. Also, you can have drawings, and if you do drawings, you can give away whatever you want to give away. Again, scent samples, you can do candy bars, you could do scent circles. Really, it's not about how much you spend. It's just the idea of keeping it a fun environment. Offering incentives for bringing uninvited friends is excellent. I highly recommend you get in the habit of really encouraging people to bring friends to both your launch party and to other types of parties. You can offer some kind of incentive and giveaways. Again, if people know it's going to be a good time and it's going to be a lot of fun, it's definitely going to increase your turnout. You want to make the most of it. Remember, you are the host, so you are going to get the host rewards and you get to earn commission. So this is a great way to earn your starter kit back. Usually most of you spend $115 approximately with tax and shipping on your starter kit. If you host your launch party and you get it done really soon, by the 10th of the following month, you can have your commission from that launch party, which can more than compensate you for the kit fee. So it's a great way to get that reimbursement and then be going forward with the income. You can use lots of things for drawings, for donations, or the stock on hand. So this having some inventory on hand will be really helpful. And even if you just decide to get all bars or all scent circles, those are great thank you gifts for people who in the future are going to have home or basket parties for you. You want to definitely take advantage of putting your orders in increments of $400. So if you have a $900 launch party, which would be fabulous, I would recommend that you put in 2 separate orders, one for $400 and one for $500. And the reason is this will maximize the number of half-price items that you receive. If you refer to your catalog to the back page, you will see that by putting in 2 separate orders instead of 1, you now are going to get twice as many half-price items. And remember, on half-price items, while yes, you can use those for full-size warmers, if costs are an issue, you can even get a candle bar or get a travel tin or a scent circle or even a light bulb. So always utilize the half-price rewards. As I said before, you can have all kinds of fun with your launch party. You can do different themes, and there's multiple ideas on both the Scentsy forum and under the resource tab. If you look at party ideas, that'll give you some really great ideas, some games and so forth. Again, keep it simple. That is the #1 key. You want to have fun. That is and if it looks like it's simple and it looks like you're having a good time and the guests are having fun, more people are going to want to have parties with you. Okay, different booking incentives. You know, you can offer an incentive to anyone who books a party. You can do book initial parties, and you will book follow-up parties. Once you have people booking parties, as you attend those parties and have those parties, you're going to continue to perpetually get additional bookings. So bookings are the key. There's several ways you can get bookings. #1 is booking bags, and later I'll show you a couple of pictures where people have utilized the booking bags. You can have 3 to 5 gift bags with tissue paper on your presentation table so they look really fabulous. And inside those gift bags, you want to put everything that you would need to have a party. So for example, you would have your host kit, your host booking kit. So that would be your catalogs, order forms, party invitations, business cards, everything they're going to need to have their party. That way they can leave there with it. You can also put coupons or mystery gift envelopes in there. And that can be anything from, you know, if you pick up this bag tonight, there's a surprise in there for you. And you could say, get a free bar with purchase tonight, or no tax tonight, or 10% off. You can do it whatever you want to do. Another way you can do it is having the envelope game, where you have 20 to 30 different envelopes with different gifts inside each one. Again, similar to this, meaning certificates. So if they come and they pull after they book their date with you and they schedule the date, they get to come up and select an envelope. And whatever is in the envelope is their free gift. And again, you can make these as simple as you want. It can even be some really nice, here's another version of some really nice scent samples. So you could even do something like that. You want to make sure that you keep your freebies and your incentives small items. And when I'm doing this, what I will do is I will give them something small right then when they do the booking with me. And then I let them know that if I decide to do a booking bonus, that they will receive their other gift at the time of their party. So let's say I tell them, okay, we're going to have a party. They pick their booking bag. They get a free scent circle at that moment. And I tell them they have a coupon in there that says get a plug-in for half price. Well, they're not going to get that half-price plug-in until they actually hold their party, and then they can redeem that with me. Here is a copy of a picture of stacking the host, and I'm hoping in the near future we'll have an actual YouTube video live so you can see how this is done. But basically the concept is this. You've got your host there, and you start talking about all the free and the half-price host rewards that they're going to receive if they have a home party. So, for example, in this situation, it would go something like this. You know, would my hostess please come and sit down? And because she's having, you know, she's going to have a fabulous party and it's going to be a $500 party, she's going to receive 4 half-price items, and she's going to receive over $75 in free Scentsy. So what you're doing next is while that person is sitting there, you're going to say, see this full-size warmer, which, for example, this one here, she gets that for half price. Do you see this warmer or this Scentsy Buddy? She's going to get this for half price. See this Scentsy Buddy? She gets this for half price. And the point is that then you want to show them by the end of this how much stuff she got for free. So then you start talking $75 in free product. So she got this Scentsy Buddy. She got this Scentsy Buddy. She got this. She got all of these bars. And there's so much that she can't even keep track of it, and she can't even hang on to it. And it's a really great visual, because a lot of people who have had parties with other direct selling companies, they had to sell hundreds of dollars in order to get very little in free and half-price host rewards. We have an extremely generous host reward program. So by doing a visual such as this, it really helps people understand how much stuff they can get by hosting a party. Okay, these are some more information on the booking bags, as well as a YouTube video you can watch if you want to see it more specifically. This has a lot more than just the booking bags on this particular video. However, it will definitely introduce the concept to you. As well, if you go on the training center of your workstation, there's a whole section on how to increase your sales and bookings. Something else that I strongly encourage you to consider is purchasing some bangles. Every morning, start out with either the left or the right hand and put a number of bangles on your wrist, whether it be 5 or 10, whatever you think is reasonable. And the goal will be eventually to just continue to work up to where you're utilizing 10 per day. These I call, these are either going to be, you can use them as bangles for your business or booking bangles. It's completely up to you. If you want to utilize them for your bookings, then you would put 5 to 10 bangles on one hand, and as you generate your phone calls or your contacts, every time you make a contact, you want to move one bangle from one wrist to the other wrist. And the goal at the end of every day will be to have all of your bangles on the opposite hand. If you don't use them for just specifically on bookings, then you would use your bangles for such as customer care calls, for both bookings, hostess coaching, and recruiting leads. So you can incorporate these bangles into your business every single day. And as I discussed earlier, your top 100, those are the people that you've wrote down that you know or have some sort of relationship with. And you want to eventually approach all of them about having a home or a basket party for you. In my host packet, this is what I include, and I make sure and have several of these handy with me at all parties. You want to put 3 to 5 catalogs, 5 to 7 order forms, invitation lists, and or invites. I always include a warmer of the month flyer, which can be found under the resources tab and then under the monthly specials. The host rewards flyers, that's going to be sure that they understand what they're going to get and what they need to do to accomplish that. Any additional special promotion flyers, such as the campus collection warmers, that could be the Bring Back My Bar promotions if it should be happening. The Buy, Host, Join, Getting Started brochures. A sample order form showing them how it should be filled out. A scent sample for the customer stapled to the business cards, and I will include several of these in there. And then, like I said, the promo sheet for your host specials or any incentives that you are offering. For example, in the past, during the month of January, has been double the half-price items. So if that was happening, you want to be sure to have that in there as well. And then your host party guide. These are some additional items that just are helpful to have at parties. None of these are an absolute necessity, but it's nice to get started. And again, when you're first starting out, you may not have all of them, but eventually you will. Fortunately, Rhonda Strope, one of my directors, recently did a training for us at one of our meetings, so I was able to take some pictures of her stuff while she had it out. This is actually her drawing slips that she uses at her home parties. She passes these out, and she made them herself on her computer, and then passes them out and asks everyone to fill them out so that she can gain their contact information. And then she also asks them their level of interest in doing one of the following, as you can see here. This happens to be her Party on the Go Hostess Handbook, and basically it has everything you would need to know as a host, including frequently asked questions, such as how long does a candle bar last, or is there shipping costs, and if so, what are they? Different questions that your host might get asked when getting additional outside orders or if it's a basket party. I always like to have the scent wish list at my home parties. You can actually purchase these from Scentsy Success, or if you go to Resources tab of your workstation and then Scentsy Success, you can print these off as well. These are your coffee bean pins. Most of you probably know it's extremely helpful to have coffee beans at your home parties that the guests can pass along in the event that they get to smelling too many different scents and they're having difficulty differentiating between them. They can take a big whiff of those coffee beans and they'll be ready to go again. You can actually make these coffee bean pins so that they've got their ink pen that you pass out, as well as having the coffee beans glued on the top here so that they have their each individualized coffee bean pins. And then store them in a large baggie with coffee beans, which will keep them smelling really great. This is your lap board. Again, these are completely optional. It's on a clipboard. It then has a file folder that's been cut in half. And included in this has a catalog, an order form, a drawing slip, one of the flyers of the month, and in mine I include a a host and a join brochure. As guests arrive, I pass these out and ask them to go ahead and complete their drawing slip in the top portion of their order form. Here's some display ideas, and you can see these have our old style party testers, so these are some older images. I would love it if some of you would take some pictures of your home party displays and would send those to us via the Facebook. That would be great, because I would like to be able to update this with some current images. I continually forget to take pictures when I've done my parties, So I would encourage you to please do that. But you can really, there's lots of ways you can do this. You know, this one has a lot more product than I typically take. I keep mine, remember, as I said, keep it sensationally simple. So I try to only have 1 or 2 full-size warmers, 1 mid-size warmer, 1 night light, or plug-in rather. I also just bring 1 room spray, Scent Circle, Travel Tin, Scentsy Buddy, basically 1 of everything except the full-size warmer. I usually will bring 2, maybe 3 if they've made a special request like they were Kansas fans or Marine Corps family and so forth. And so this is just to give you some ideas. Hostess coaching is the key to successful parties of any kind. You want to build a relationship with your hostess. You want to make them your partner because remember, not only do you want to help them get as much free and half-price Scentsy, you want to have the best possible party. So you want to be sure you're giving them the right information and that you're doing a good job of keeping them engaged in the process. You want to give them their information right away. Ideally, and you know, if you happen to be getting a booking at a party or at an event, you're going to put it in their your calendar, and then you're going to go home and you're going to shoot them a card, send off a postcard or a card saying, hey, thank you so much for booking your party. I look forward to seeing you on Tuesday the 21st at 7 p.m. It's going to be great. And then you can send them their hostess kit, which is going to include everything that I said before with the packet of information if you haven't already been able to give them that in person. And keep them engaged. You know, if they book a party at the first of the month and then come 2 weeks later you happen to get your warmer and scent of the month in the mail, send them some scent samples with the new scent since their party's not until the last week of the month. Just anything to keep them going. Make sure and ask them to fill out their wish list in advance of all of the product they would like to get for free and half price so that they have a goal and they have items that they want to receive and accomplish. This will also help you when you're done with the party and getting through the party quicker. I encourage you to mail the invitations. It's optional. It's not required. You can ask your host to mail the invitations, or you can mail them. Some of the things that you can do, I know many consultants will mark a couple with a special marking or put a sticker or put something on it and ask them to be sure and bring their invitation. And if the guests attend the party with a special sticker or marking, they get a free gift. So just something to think about. You can offer an extra incentive if they have a certain amount of outside orders and if the order forms are completed. That's very important. Really encourage your host, if she collects outside orders, which hopefully she will, to make sure the order forms have all of the contact information. That's valuable information you're going to want later to provide good customer care to them. Always set up your parties online, whether it's a home party, a launch party, a basket party. Set them up online because everybody knows somebody that's not going to be able to attend the party, and this is a great way for them to increase their host rewards. Ask in advance if you need to bring a table. In most cases, you can pretty much make something work in a home, but I always ask and give them the opportunity to say, you know, I really don't have a good place in my great room, which is where the majority of my seating is, so if you have a table, that would be great. If they tell me, well, I have a little coffee table, or we can move everything off the fireplace, or if they give you something that seems like it would be reasonable, I always use what they have. But again, there are times when they just flat out tell me it would really be good if you could bring a table, because ideally I can't think of a way it would work real well without it. So ask that in advance. Make sure you discuss your closing date so that everybody's on the same page. And when you show up for that party, you're not surprised to find out she wants to keep it open another week. And always call in advance for a head count. You want to have enough lap boards for everybody. You want to be ready. And if it looks like her numbers are low, you need to come up with some great and creative ideas for her to encourage that guest list or get additional outside orders. There's 2 different ways for doing a home party. There's the presentation style party, which is the most popular and most common. This is where you're going to set a date and a time. The consultant is then going to do a short presentation on the product. You're going to then pass around the scents, and you're going to proceed with the orders, and it's going to end on time. Personally, I think this is the best bang for your buck. Once you've done more parties, you should get to a point where you can be in and out in an hour and a half, 2 hours at the max. The other style is the open house style party, and some people prefer these, and they're not a bad thing. In fact, some consultants consider these to be much easier. So it's totally up to you. An open house style party is going to be by an invitation. You're going to have a range of 2 to 5 on Sunday, 2 to 5 on Saturday. As guests come, you're standing by the table with everything spread out, and you're going to individually explain to the guests all of the different products. You can do door prizes if you want. I would recommend drawing at the end and not making the guests be present. Just make sure that way you can get all of their information, their name, their address, their emails, and phone numbers. I know different hosts and different consultants prefer different types of parties. So have that conversation with their host and find out what she thinks is going to be best for her group of people. There are pros and cons to both, and you're going to need to play with it and figure out which you prefer and which you feel works best for you. And you will get better and far more comfortable the more you do. Again, how do you set up your display? There are multiple different ways, and no two consultants are going to do it the same. Again, the number one thing is just keep it simple. If you bring in 15 boxes of warmers and product and make 10 trips back and forth to your vehicle, who at that party is going to think that looks like it's going to be fun and simple and I want to sign up and sell it? I can assure you no one. So you want to get it down to where you're making 1, 2 trips at the most back and forth to your vehicle with your product. This is just another idea of display. And they're using actually the mini testers, which is completely optional. I prefer the party testers, but again, this was what this consultant prefers, and there's nothing wrong with it. So you can do whichever way you prefer to do it. You do want to have at least 1 item of each product if at all possible. Some people like to sort their testers into categories. As you can see here, that's what they've done. I prefer to sort mine by categories for my home parties, but it's completely up to you. I have found by sorting them in advance, and by giving people the option, for example, in conversation, I say to someone, oh, what type of scents do you like? And they tell me they do not like food scents. Then there's no reason I need to pass them the basket that has the food scents in it. Again, it's just taking up time, and my whole goal is to get in, do a great job at the party, and get out. If you subscribe to the Warmer of the Month, make sure you display it. If you're not able to subscribe to the Warmer and the Scent of the Month, then print off the flyer. You can find those flyers on your workstation under Resources and then Monthly Promotions. What do I bring to a home party? Well, again, you can work with this as you want to. These are just some ideas of things that unfortunately I've learned sometimes the hard way, of things that I bring. Some of it may be obvious, but I always have host packets, as I said before, and I always bring booking bags, or what people call basket parties or bag parties, depending on what you prefer. Always have them there and ready to go, so that evening, if 3 people say, yes, I would love to do a bag party for my consultant, Michelle, I have them right there ready to send home with them. Of course, you want to bring all of your product with your testers, your booking calendar. Very important not to leave home without your calendar. We do have a whole section on the booking calendar and how you can work calendars at your home party. But basically the concept is to have your calendar that's specifically for your Scentsy business only and exclusively, that you can then share with your guests at the party, and they can pick the date. Prizes and host thank you gifts, recruiting packets. Never leave home without your recruiting packets, because the objective is the better you get, not only do you want to get bookings, you want to get recruits and people interested in joining the business. I prefer to use the lap boards. It's certainly not a requirement. Coffee beans are great. I also recommend keeping an extension cord in your kit, because you never know what the circumstances are going to be of where they're going to have you with that. Paper products like your business cards, catalogs, order forms, bring some backup just in the event she has more than she anticipated, so that you're ready to go. And I always bring a used jar candle. And my purpose for this, as many of you already know, when I am talking about the different candle bars, I will demonstrate by holding up one of our candle bars versus a large jar candle. And instead of that $15 to $25 they're going to spend on those jar candles, they can now spend $5 on our candle bar and get the same quality of fragrance. You want to keep your presentation very simple. It should last 10 to 15 minutes at the max. I start out by introducing myself, very brief. I don't tell them my whole life story. I tell them who I am and what I do with Scentsy. I ask how many people have been to a party before. I tell them how much fun we're going to have. I thank the guests. Of course, I ask them, I tell them to watch. I invite you to watch me, see how easy this is, see how much fun that I'm having. I always offer the booking opportunity. How many of you like to get free stuff? Of course, they all want to get free stuff. At this point, I will do a drawing. You can either use the drawing slips or the order forms. Typically, I just use the order forms, which hopefully they've already filled out because I recommended that upon arrival. and I will collect their order forms from them, and I make sure they completely fill it out. If I get one and it doesn't have an email address on it, I'll say, oh, you know, Angela, would you please include your email? If she says I don't have one, then that's fine. But most of the time, as long as you encourage them and ask for it, they will fill them out completely. I then collect the order forms. I do a drawing from the order forms, and then I will later, as they get ready to do their ordering, I will pass those back out to them. Then I do my product demonstration where I discuss the product. Once again, I will ask them who likes to get free stuff. I will do the Stack the Host, which we talked about earlier, where I physically show them so they can see visually how much stuff they get for free and half price. I discuss the booking bags and highly encourage them to come up to my table to get those booking bags. And really important here, it's really important that you tell them how simple we make it to earn host rewards. Many people are partied out, or they've been there, tried that, it didn't work out for them because they had to get $500 or $600 in orders to get anything, even the smallest of host rewards. Remind them that we only need $150 in orders to get your host rewards. Now, ideally, and more than likely, all of the parties are going to be over that. But if people think they really only have to introduce 3 or 4 people or have 3 or 4 people come to their party, and that's the biggest thing, many people are worried that if they don't have a full house, you're going to be disappointed, then they can realize that they can do it, and then you're going to do a good job of hostess coaching them so that they do get far more than that $150. The next thing is you want to introduce the business opportunity again. And you want to ask them, how many of you would like to earn an extra $600 a month? Would that help you? And if so, you know, ideally, if you either have 2 real $100 bills or you can have fake $100 bills, it doesn't matter. You know, hold them up and say, hey, this is what I average doing a home party. You can too. Or if maybe your home parties aren't to that point yet where you're actually ordering, you know, earning that much, then maybe that's how much you make a month. Whatever you want to use, it's just an idea to give people a visual of how much they can make simply by working 1 evening a week or 1 evening a month. You can also take a credit card, and you can cut up a credit card, and you can say, look, you know, see this? And you cut it up, say, I paid off my credit card using my Scentsy money. Or would you like to pay off your credit card debt? Let me show you how you can do that by selling Scentsy and having fun at it. You want to have your recruiting bags, which are going to look very similar to your booking bags. Your recruiting bags will also have everything they need in order to join the business. You can do a demonstration having a box of cereal, maybe a car, an airplane, and so, for example, you can hold up that car and say, you know what, I do my Scentsy, and I paid off my car, or my goal is to have my car paid off, and that's why I'm doing my Scentsy. I'm going to have a car with no car payments in the next 6 months, or whatever your goal might be. Or, hey, I pay for my kids' groceries every single week with my Scentsy money. So if you show people it can be something as simple as that they can earn as little or as much as they want with Scentsy, you're going to find that the opportunity is going to present itself far more often for people to come up and ask you for the recruiting bags. If the host wants you to play a game or you just like to play games, there are endless games under the Resources tab and then under Party Tools. So feel free, but talk to your host. I know many hosts of recent that I have done, they really prefer not to do the games, and therefore if they're not a fan of it, then I don't do them. And then you want to let the smelling begin. I always wait and pass the testers around at the very end. In fact, I keep them under my table hidden, otherwise I can never get their attention again. Okay, product information. Some of this may seem very obvious to many of you. So if so, you can fast forward through this. But in the event that you are new, I want to be sure I kind of cover it and give you an idea of how I present this. So our full-size warmers, you have over 60 to choose from. Our full-size warmers are going to range anywhere from $30 to $35 depending on which warmers you're looking at. They all take a 25-watt appliance bulb. I recommend 2 cubes of wax in our full-size warmers. And of course, that's also when I will share with them the warmer of the month, either by showing them in person or sharing the flyer. Then we have our mid-size warmers. They take a 20-watt bulb, and we recommend 1 or 2 cubes in our mid-size warmers. Our plug-in warmers are going to take a 15-watt bulb, and you can use 1 cube of those, and then that's also when I tell them about the grab tabs. Now, the really important thing to do at this point is, I ask people, how many of you have a Scentsy warmer? Well, many of them are going to say they do, and there's going to be some that say they do not. This is when I tell them, if you're new to Scentsy, you want to start out with a full-size warmer. It's going to give you your strongest scent throw, so you're going to get your best experience with this. Put this in the larger portion of your home. These plug-in warmers are fabulous night lights. You want to use these in your bathrooms or your smaller bedrooms. Very important, because I can assure you from all of the events that I do, it is very common for people to come up and tell me, well, I have one of those plug-ins and you can't smell it. And they're putting it in an area that's like 800 square feet, 1,000 square feet. Well, of course you can't smell it. It was not intended to be used that way. It's an add-on product, and its purpose is for your bathrooms or smaller bedrooms. So be sure that you're giving appropriate information about the benefits of the different warmers so that people are satisfied with those. On our bars and our bricks, we have over 80 different scents to choose from, and in a couple of minutes you're going to have an opportunity to smell as many of those as you want. All of our products are very safe. The wax gets a little bit warmer than body temperature, so it's not going to burn. The wax does not evaporate, so it's going to stay in your warmer. It's not going to put any soot or any wax into the air, so you're not going to be breathing it or finding it anywhere in your home. All of our electrical components are UL approved, so they've met the highest safety standards in both the United States and Canada. And then you're going to tell them how and when to change the wax. You want to tell them that our wax is a food-grade production wax, the same type of wax they find on the outside of their produce at the grocery stores, and then it's infused with fragrance oil. Each cube is going to last 10 to 12 hours, or this whole package is going to last the same as this jar candle, which you're hopefully demonstrating. Only instead of that $15 to $25 you spend on that jar candle, you're now going to spend $5 on our candle bars. So not only is Scentsy safer, less expensive, but they certainly look a lot nicer than candles. Our room sprays will give you over 600 sprays. They're a great value. They're very concentrated, so it's not going to take much. They come in all 80 cents. Our scent circles also come in all 80 cents. These are great. You want to be sure you hang these from your mirror, and they're going to last approximately 30 days. The travel tins are excellent for the console of your car. You can put those in your lockers, in your gym bags, in your desk drawer, anywhere you want to take them with you. It has a thin gel inside, so it's not going to melt, so you don't have to worry about heat with this product. And they typically last 45 to 60 days. Our scent packs were originally designed to go on our Scentsy Buddies. Our Scentsy Buddies, and you're going to demonstrate the Scentsy Buddy. At this time, of course, we have the Cost Scentsy Buddy for Ronald McDonald House, so you want to feature that as well and tell them about how 100% of the net proceeds from that purchase is going to go to the Ronald McDonald House. Otherwise, we have some others available as well in the catalog that you can see for purchase. The scent packs go in the back side of our Scentsy Buddies. They're going to last approximately 3 to 4 months, and they come in a wide variety of scents. These can also be used in your closets, in your drawers, or you can throw them under the seat of your car. They can really be used anywhere. If you purchase one of our Scentsy Buddies, be sure that you go to ScentsyBuddy.com, where you can register them, get your adoption certificate. They have coloring sheets, Valentine's, Mother's Day cards, all kinds of neat things that the kids can do at ScentsyBuddy.com. And then last but not least, you definitely want to be sure that you highlight pages 48 and 49 of the catalog to show them how they can save the most money in purchasing one of our bundles that are already put together for them. Okay, once again, I'm going to hit on this again. Time is money. Home parties should last no more than 2 hours. When you get really good at doing them, you'll get them down to an hour and a half. 2.5 hours is not unreasonable if you're playing multiple games. It just depends on what your host has asked you to do or the crowd. You want to be sure you're working the room from the time the guests arrive, and ideally whenever the scents are being passed around. As the guests arrive, ask them, oh, how do you know Michelle? How long have you known her? Do you work with her? Oh, where do you work? Okay, what do you, oh, you stay at home. Oh, you're having another baby. Congratulations. You want to work the room and get this information and start making mental notes so that later, as you talk to them throughout the party, and then again, whenever you're getting their order, you can utilize that information again to either get bookings or present the business opportunity to them. Same is true whenever the scents are being passed around. If you don't want to be there for 4 or 5 hours, then you need to be helping your guests make some selections. So start with a guest, and you say to them, what type of scents do you like? And they say they like cinnamon or they like floral. Great, let me give you some ideas. You have to try clove and cinnamon. Oh, my goodness. In Sticky Cinnamon Bun, we sell a ton of Sticky Cinnamon Bun. And you guide them, and next thing you know, they've picked out 3 or 6 scents that they absolutely love because you've helped them. You've helped them with the ordering process. You ask them, do you already have a full-size warmer? Yes, I do. Great. Would you need one for the bedroom or maybe for the TV room? You need a wedding gift. You start talking to them. You take this information, and you help them. So they say, yes, I need a full-size warmer because they don't have one. Great. Let me show you some different options. Is your home decor, is it modern? Is it more country? Is it, you get this information and then guide them to the warmers that you think are going to fit with the information that they're giving you. Once they've selected a full-size warmer is when you say, hey, let me tell you about our companion package. Now that you've selected your warmer and we've narrowed down your scents, you can pick one of our plugins for your bathroom or for one of your smaller bedrooms, and here they are. So by helping them and working with them and then just work the room one by one, just go through, you're going to help them get their orders together, narrow down their selections, and get in and out of there. If your party starts at 6:30, it's really important that you start no later than 6:35. Remember, you need to respect the guests that arrived on time, and your time is money. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and start your party. Hold firm. Let your host know ahead of time that you're going to be starting on time, so ensure that her guests arrive on time. If you've started your party, and whether it's 5 minutes or 20 minutes into it, and someone happens to show up, then you invite them in and say, oh, hi, come on in. And you give your host a lap board to present to them and say, hey, have a seat, and as soon as I get done here, I'll get you all caught up. And then you just keep going through your presentation. And then as soon as you're done, you go up to that guest that arrived late and you say, hey, are you familiar with Scentsy? If they say yes, say great, and then you highlight some of the new products that maybe since they made a purchase that we now have. If they are not familiar with Scentsy, then you want to have a 30 to 45-second commercial that you've practiced to basically do that presentation that you did very quickly with them to get them started in the ordering process. Here's just another idea. This is one that Janelle Nichols did, and obviously it was around Easter. I thought it was a really neat idea how she did this. She incorporated the holiday theme, and then in her Dottie warmer here, she's got jelly beans, and she did a little contest. Guess how many jelly beans are in the dish of this warmer, and they got a prize. So it was quite fun. This happened to be the warmer of the month that month, and I thought that was really great how she did that. So you can have lots of fun with it and make it very simple and fun for your guests. Here's another one that was around the 4th of July. Here you're going to see she's got her booking bags right here. So this is great. She's got her booking bags all ready to go for when people come up and want to book a party. They can pick one of these bags. They're going to get a little special coupon inside or a special prize along with everything they need to get started to have their party. And my guess is she has this stuff back here all stacked up, ready to do her Stack the Host, which she's going to do later in her presentation to show them how they can get all of this stuff for free and half price. Here's another presentation. This one looks really nice. Obviously, this was about this time of year, which is in the fall. Yep, October 27th. Okay, the lap boards, I already covered this, so I'll just quickly go over it again. It's going to be your catalog, order forms, business card, a flyer of the month on the warmer of the month, rather, any other Scentsy promotions that are happening, your Scentsy wish list, your Join and Getting Started brochure, and you can also use the frequently asked question sheet that can be found on the iMatchless Team Training site. Your recruiting packets that I mentioned, and remember, booking is income for tomorrow, but recruiting is income for forever. So you know what, if you're really in this because you want to quit your day job or you really want to make some extra income to help your family, then you do want to build a team. So always have your recruiting packets and bags with you. Here's what I happen to put in mine, and you can do your own variation. There's no wrong or right way to do any of this. This is just ideas, and these are tools to help you, and you're going to find your own way. I always, of course, include a catalog, a business card with scent sample, a Discover Scentsy DVD, which can be purchased through Scentsy Success, a Join brochure, a Getting Started brochure, and then I also include a mini tester, a discontinued one, or it can be current. That's totally up to you. And why I include that is because when they go home with that and they call me and they're ready to join, I can tell them how they can get their kit ordered, obviously. And then one of the next additions that would be great for you to add to your kit is a set of our mini testers. Remember that sample that I gave you in your recruiting packet? Those you can get in a package of 80, which includes all of our current set testers, and they're $25 including the case. And this will get them started doing bag or basket parties right away. Okay, bags and basket parties, another way you can do your parties. It's very important that you coach your host. This is absolutely critical. You're not going to be there to answer the questions, so you must give your host of a bag or basket party what they need in order to answer the questions or to be successful. You want to always set these parties up online, as we talked about before. I happen to use these binders that can be purchased from Scentsy Success, but you can certainly purchase binders at any other office store as well. Then I get page protectors, and I'm going to put a variety of things in my binder. I've got a catalog, 10 order forms, the flyer for the Warmer of the Month, the campus collection flyer, a join and host brochure, and business cards. I also have then a pencil, like a little pencil holder, but I put in it pens, business cards, and a calculator. It's just a small, flat little calculator. You can get them at the dollar store. You want to decide if you want to use a bag or a basket. Some people use baskets. They look really nice. I'm a bag person. So I purchased, and I didn't do this originally, but this is what I do now, the White Dazzle bags from Scentsy Success. Right now they're on clearance, so we're on sale at least for $9. You can use also the recyclable Scentsy bags, which are even less expensive, or any kind of tote bag or bag that you happen to have. It most definitely does not need to say Scentsy, so just start out with what you have. These do, however, hold a full-size warmer, a set of mini testers, your binder, and I also include a bar containing 2 to 4 cubes. And you can also, it's completely optional, include a example of a travel tin, a scent circle, a scent pack. You can include as much or as little as you want. Now, I always ask my basket party or bag party host, do you have a full-size warmer? If they say yes, then I'm going to encourage that too. I'm going to encourage them, take that to your place of work. Plug it in at the office, or take it to the bunco party, or wherever you see your friends and family. Take your warmer from home so that people can experience the quality, they can see how nice they are, how big they are, and how well they work. If they tell me they do not have a full-size warmer, then I will actually loan them a demo warmer. And I will give them a warmer, and like I said, a bar containing 2 to 4 cubes that they can actually borrow and they can utilize. I have found when I do this, it does increase their total significantly. But again, it's completely optional and up to you. These are just some different images of what people do. If you're not familiar, these are the mini testers that can be purchased on your workstation under Orders and then Scentsy Success. This is the mini tester set. Here's a version of it via a basket. You can see another basket here. This is a scrapbooking bag that can be purchased at like a hobby store. And then there's some other different ways that people have done it too. So there's multiple different ways you can do these. This one here, again, this one's great. Have Scentsy Will Travel. Boy, this has it all in it. And I believe someone told me you can purchase these in the makeup section at some of the discount stores. Long-distance basket parties or bag parties. This comes up often. You know, this is, again, you can really vary this depending on where you're at in your business and how much expense you want to go to. You can include mini testers, or you can include the scent appeals. These are a great addition. They come in the favorites. So you're not going to have all 80 testers, but honestly, I mean, this is more than enough. It's our top sellers, so there's nothing wrong with sending these, especially during the winter or the summer months when it's really hot and your mini testers could get melted. I include a coffee bean tin, a bar containing 2 to 4 cubes, and I always give them 1 or 2 options on scent preference as well. If they don't have a warmer, you can send one or you can send a plug-in. That is completely up to you. You can also include the other products as we talked about before, scent circles, fragrance foam, room sprays, 3 to 5 catalogs. And I always tell people when I do my bag or basket parties that I'm including 3 to 5 catalogs. Those are for you to share to get your orders. However, please ask your guests to give them back to you so that you can keep getting orders, because everyone who makes a purchase with me will get a catalog with their order. And that way your host doesn't keep calling you for 5 more, 10 more, 15 more catalogs when the reality is only a third of them are ever going to place an order. So tell them to be sure to hang on to those and that you'll make sure those that order are going to get them. Again, your order forms, all of the contents of the binder, only I don't send the binder. I just put all of that information in the host envelope that came in your kit, and you can purchase additional ones of those as well under Scentsy Success. Business cards with scent samples, and it's optional, but you can also include return postage, prepaid postage, so that's completely up to you. Again, we talked about coaching, and I'm going to talk about it again because it's so important to the success of your parties. You want to make sure on these long-distance ones especially that you contact your host and ask her to contact you when she gets the product. When she gets the product, have her get the catalog, you get your catalog, and do a quick product demonstration with her on the phone. So again, she's got to have the information to be able to answer questions. Make sure you explain the payment policy. Do you want to collect checks from all of her guests or just from the host? Personally, I tell all of my parties and all of my hosts, regardless of if it's a home party or a bag party, that all of the checks need to be made out to you, and I will only accept a check from you, or credit card, obviously. That way, in the event there are any issues with bad checks or insufficient funds, she can deal with them versus me having to do so. You want to set a firm return date. Determine if she's going to be emailing you the orders or if you're going to do it over the phone. It's completely up to you how you want to do that. Or if she's going to return them in the box. I usually promote them to email them to me if all possible, but sometimes it's necessary for them to call me, and that's fine too. And I always pay for return shipping. Again, it's not required. I'm just telling you that's what I do. Your shipping costs are a tax write-off, so if you hang on to your receipts, you can put that in your folder and you can write those off. You want to decide whether or not you want to use a contract or not. Some consultants actually have a contract that they ask their host to sign whenever they do a bag or basket party, whether it's local or not. And this basically just asks them to understand that this does cost money, the value of what they might have be sending to them, what that value is, that this is a business expense, and you can ask them to sign and date it. Personally, I don't ask them to sign and date it, but what I will do is I will show them the contract and I'll say, you know, I just want to be sure that I go over this with you. This here is a part of my business expense. This is approximately $42 or whatever the amount is you happen to have together for my business, and this is how I, how I support my family. So I would just like to ask that, you not leave it in your car, that you don't loan it out to anybody else. If you would just please, treat it as if it was your own, I would greatly appreciate it. And for me, I feel like if I have a genuine conversation with most people, they're going to respect it and they're going to take care of it. And hopefully the same will be true for you. You need to be sure you're checking in on your host. Did you get the packet? How's it going? Do you have your wish list? Help them with the host rewards. Set a goal for them so they know what they want to get for free. Remind your guests that if it's $150 in orders, all of the shipping is free. You are going to need to figure out their tax rate of where it's being shipped to. So be sure that you give the host the correct tax rate information. Unless it's being shipped to you, it's going to be based on whatever area code you're shipping the information to. And remember, every basket party host is a potential recruit. They are, in essence, selling the product for you. So if they have a $400 party, this is like a natural for you to say, oh, my goodness, you did phenomenal. You got $400 in orders. Have you given any thought to becoming a consultant? I mean, you already got repeat business right here. These people are going to need somebody to take care of them, and I'm happy to do so. But did you ever think you could do this? Because really, I'd be happy to support you and to train you, and you can make some extra money and have fun doing so. So you want to be sure that you're offering your home and your basket parties up to the host to join. You will make way more money off of a good, trained recruit than you will off of a few home and basket parties. Online parties, these are very similar to your basket parties. However, you don't have to send any cents or no products. This I do. You don't have to send a host packet. However, I do recommend emailing them some information. So, for example, if someone says, well, I'll have an online party, you're going to set that up on your workstation for them. You're going to send them the evites, encourage them to use their Facebook and their email. Then I would attach them like your frequently asked question information and product information. I still would go through the catalog with them in the event they do get phone calls or questions about it. You want to be sure that the host understands the importance of their guests clicking on their name when ordering. And remember that all online orders are direct shipped, so they are going to be charged shipping. Let's see. You want to encourage your host to promote their parties through their social media. Let's see what's next here. Okay, what defines a party? Well, there's several ways you can do a party. One of which is, hold on just a second.